Hello. I'm sorry. You've caught me in a... I'm sorry. You've just arrived. Let me fill you in on what happened in the last session of Fate's End. You will remember last time you spoke to us that Prearia, Samson, Finlay, and myself had been locked in my father's conservatory. It's something like a guest house too, I suppose, but I don't think his guests always have quite so many guards posted around their doors. He sent in some of those guards with my brother, Evriel, to deliver us clothes.
Thank you. Avriel will hear in his head, "You okay?"
His eyes just kind of flicker and he like kind of glances up at you. His jaw kind of clenches a little bit and he you can see with your passive insight, like he's frantically trying to find words that he can use. And he says back to you in his head, "The garden has thorns. A deal keeps the wolf from harming the carnation. And the chimney keeps you here. Go."
Avriel had some bridle about being locked by a chimney and the carnations and the wolves, and we checked out the chimney and everything, and it was true. There was something that prevented us from teleporting away. And we also, traded amongst ourselves the clothing, so now Samson is Prearia is Samson, and I'm wearing this stupid yellow dress.
The clothes...
Get a sense...
that have been provided, you see a bright yellow gown, the color of buttercups, and a yellow carnations with slits along the back for wings. You see a purple velvet dress with slits along both sides, elegant and trimmed in gold, and a small dragonfly wreath necklace accompanies it. And then for Finlay and Samson, you see a vibrant summer green tunic and red summer green tunic with kind of like toggles off of the wrist.
Akren and Luden were not with us. They were outside. Not in the dark, but making plans.
It looks so flammable.
Hey, relax. I mean, maybe, but let me do my thing first.
Okay, yeah, okay, so there's that, and then when they inevitably, or I guess I shouldn't say inevitably, we've been doing really, really good lately with our mission, but beforehand, before you showed up, Akron, it was inevitable. But lately, who knows?
Akron used Urmir's hat of disguise that I loaned to him to disguise himself and make his way into the dinner as a waiter. As he settled into his new role, we all arrived in various states of confidence and lack of confidence. Fake Arya was brought to sit behind Helianthus himself, while the rest of us were shunted to a table at the other side of the room. I can't say it was the most friendly of atmospheres.
Message is only somatic, so under the table, Espris is going to kind of poke Finn in the leg and I don't know, I know I can be convincing, but I'm not great at reading people, and if he is genuinely going to supply his army to Prearia, I can't be the reason why this fails. I can't. So, I should...
You won't be the reason it fails. You're going to be the reason it succeeds. You're just as good as reading people as anyone. You taught Luden how to read people, how to talk to people, and that's a success in and of itself. So I think if you can do that, you can do anything.
Across from us, Helianthus was making small talk with Fegaria.
So tell me, what would you do if you were queen?
Many things, I'm sure. I think that is a question for a different time, as you say, to the rightful queen and all of that.
Well, you wanted to make amends. You apologized for a slip-up at your friend's estate, and I want to know what this unity means.
Are we unified now? Helianthus? Are we friends? Are we under your care now? Are you prepared to honor your most ancient oath to my foremothers? Seems last time we spoke, you were a little more fickle.
I wanted to speak to him, which is odd to say because I cannot say much of my life I have wanted to speak to this thing, but I am trying to go about things the right way.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything. I'm so sorry.
Helianthus, you know Esprit Cynthia, yes?
I wanted to, while I had the opportunity, to ask you, as a military strategist and as a leader of your men, and in making this decision, what guides you? Where do you find your great strength of character? What is your purpose, Helianthus, that guides you in making these decisions?
You're asking what my purpose is in life?
As a leader, or in life in general, if you have such an answer to such a large question.
I serve my men, the generals here, like a brotherhood of sorts. When you fight on the battlefield, there's a brotherhood, a loyalty that lies between there, as I'm sure you know. Speaking from a place of loyalty, you and your comrades, you have fought and bled together for a year or so, I'm sure. I can imagine the bonds you all have formed, the trust, the secrets that you've all shared, the things only you all know and the rest of the world doesn't. Soldiers, generals like that are family. You can imagine what kind of trust thousands of years will create in comparison. But what would I know?
The real Prearia, the fake Samson, the fake Son, and Finalai were not quite making friends on the other side. And fake Arya was nearly as poised as our usual Prearia is.
Well, actually, I had some questions I wanted to ask you. It's just... Preya Samson is going to attempt to engage that one in conversation.
This one?
The one that's attempting to walk away, yes.
How do you persuade him to say?
Well, I actually wanted to talk to you about there's going to be so many new races coming in, actually, and there's going to be a lot of cultural misunderstandings such as this, and I just wanted to know what Helianthus' plan was for all of that. And actually, I have a PowerPoint.
You do?
If you could just look at that.
So cool.
Alright, I'm sorry, this isn't a soldier, this is a general. So he just kind of looks at you and he continues onward. And he continues onward over to this table.
I had asked Helianthus if I might, have a toast. I knew this was the moment that I might, hopefully, change some of the minds of his generals, his commanders, to inspire them to... I just talked and talked and talked.
Helianthus, thank you so much for your time, and all of the fine men and women and fae who are with us this evening. I thought it appropriate, since you have opened your halls to us, you have shown us such graciousness, that we might respond in kind with some thanks. And I do apologize, in the material plane, sometimes our toasts are a little bit less succinct than the fae. You would think that we had your lifespan by the way we talk. But if I could have a moment of your time, it would be much appreciated. Why am I here at dinner in this beautiful dress? Why are you all here? Why did you come all the way to the estate of Samson Martis? And why did myself and my people come to the Feywild at all? What is the purpose that drives us? And Helianthus said something that I'm sure won't surprise any of you, but I myself found very inspiring. He said, what drives his actions is brotherhood. The companionship that he feels with all of you
each of his generals, each of his soldiers. He feels a debt to you, a relationship to you that he must fulfill as a leader. And I find this absolutely beautiful. Your purpose does not lie with Helianthus of this court, it lies with your fellow brothers, as he has stated. My purpose lies with the free people, who would have their bodies and minds bent to petty tyrants who believe they have more of a right to them than the individuals do. All of you are free. And I am here for you. I can say there was at least victory in that I seemed to make Helianthus very upset.
He looks very tense, and he just kind of like digs his fingers into the wood of this table, looking at his men, and just his fey presence. You begin to see kind of like this glow in his eyes and all around him. His wings flare out behind him, and you see this armor that's kind of laced along the side of his wings that look like daggers. And he looks at you, Esperise. He doesn't look at fake Arya, and he says, "They've given me much to think about. You all are dismissed. The feast is over. Escort our guests back to their rooms."
I have to admit, when he asked us to leave, and then he called in my brother, Avriel, I don't think I managed myself quite as well as I usually like to. I try to keep myself contained, you know, I try to make the choices that will lead to the best outcome for myself, for my party, for my goals, for the silent. But he can't hurt me, you know? That is what we had learned, he said. Iliantus cannot hurt me, but he could hurt Avriel, and I wasn't going to let that happen, but I let myself go too much, I think.
I'm fully gonna just open the doors of the conservatory and just walk past the guards.
We have the chimney.
I'm just gonna go. They don't have to. I might even close the doors behind me. The rest of the party can go in a way that's more sneaky. I am even attempting to be ostentatious about this.
They definitely. Hey, you can't leave. Get back in your room.
I need to speak to my brother, please.
Right now, he's been sent to speak to Helianthus.
That makes complete sense. I am going to be there also.
We've been instructed to make sure that you stay here for now.
I understand that. What will you do if I don't do that?
I'd rather not have to use any force.
I understand completely. I don't want to use force against you either. What I said before in the tent is true. I care about each and every one of you, and I want you to be free. And right now, in that tent, my brother is not free. Do you understand? And then there was Finalai. Finalai is a good man, and I am glad he is here with me. I am glad they are all here with me. They have been very kind.
You did amazingly.
Before I had a complete meltdown, but before the meltdown I did okay.
You did much better than I would have done.
Before the meltdown, you basically changed everything.
Yes, did that guard say he was going to kill us?
Yes.
He did
I
say
heard that
that.
part
The
too.
food was poisoned.
Fekari Samson, the real Samson. He scried on my brother so that I could see him, so I could be sure that he was not being hurt. I messed everything up, I'm sure I did, but I don't know, I'm very grateful for the people around me, and I hope that I have not destroyed everything, and I just hope that this is enough. God! I miss having a God. I miss knowing what is right all the time. I don't so much like to listen to myself. She has many stupid ideas. I trust Finalai, and I trust Luden. And yes, I do even trust Samson, and Priari, and Akrin, Ramir, Avriel. And someday I will trust myself, I'm sure.